Yeah, I mean, my junior year, I'd gotten more comfortable with my teammates. We're all real tight, and that's the thing
Right.
about college is that you don't see in professional sports is like when you practice with your teammates and then you actually go home and live with them and you're around them off the court. The bond that you guys have is so much, so much tighter and closer with your college teammates than you were ever with your professional teammates. And
Right.
so, that whole group really, really grew together. And me being more vocal, comfortable with everybody, those freshmen that came in, Ty's class, Wayne, all those guys were super comfortable with everybody. And so I think it really put everybody on the same page. And honestly, to be honest with you, I think Ty had one of the biggest growths of any players I'd been around from his freshman to his sophomore year. And
Yeah.
that really opened up things for me because Ty was so good at getting around defenders and scoring. And now he was starting to, us running together, he was starting to put me in position to score and really started playing well with each other. And so I think Ty was a big reason of why I had such a good year, even though he got hurt in ACC play
Hmm.
and he hurt his toe that year, which kind of put more
Pressure.
opportunity and more focal point on me on the offense. And my confidence was really rolling that year, and we played
Yeah.
well. And also Wayne Ellington, uh, he was shooting so good from outside that defenses weren't sucking in, and so really spreading things open for me my junior year. And
Yeah.
so that was a really good year for me.
Yes.
The only hard part was the way that year ended. And I still think it's the toughest loss of my whole time at UNC is a losing to Kansas in San Antonio. And the reason that was so difficult is because, you kind of felt like Coach Williams coming there from his old school. I don't know. There was so much, it was such a weird vibe that we wanted, not only win for us, but for Coach Williams and some of the things that they were saying about him. And I just felt like that year didn't end the way we all wanted to, and kind of left a sour taste in all of our all of our mouths. Just kind of putting us back in the gym to work
Right.
that summer.
Right. Now, that season that you had in 2008, man, was phenomenal. I mean, like I said, I felt like your growth, your sophomore year, really prepared you for your junior
Mhm.
year. And I'm not going to say it was so much growth on your game, but I think from being a person and being more comfortable in that environment and the hoopla and the lights that came along with it. I think you settled down more and didn't look at it as an expectation. I
Yeah.
think you looked at it as, hey man, I work at this every day. I'm just gonna go out here and do what I'm capable of
Yeah.
doing. And the best thing for me, Tyler, is that season, you were named Naismith Player of the Year,
Mm-hmm.
and that's an accomplishment that many don't get an opportunity to accomplish. And so, could you speak to us about getting that call and knowing that you were going to be that individual, and to kind of validate? I mean, you had already validated it anyway by being at the University of North Carolina, but validate all the things that the naysayers had said about you previously, to be in that group of people.
Yeah. And so, being in that group is super, super special. And it says something as a player, anybody that's in that group is how much work they put in. It also says a lot about the teammates they had and the environment because they don't just give that to somebody who's on a losing team and they just put up stats. And
Right.
I remember my sophomore year, I would read some articles, maybe some people would say, and some analysts really pissed me off, and it almost felt like, yeah, and there was a point at the end of my sophomore year. I said, I'm not gonna read any articles.
There
I
you
don't
go.
care what these guys say. And honestly, I mean, the basketball knowledge that me and you have, when we read something like that and looking back, it's just absurd that some of these things that these people think they're experts in what they say. And so
Right.
something that really helped me is I said, I'm done with this. I'm not reading. I'm not going to watch anything. The only people I'm listening to is people in the locker room, the coaching staff,
Right.
teammates, everything. And so from that, I think it really, really helped me as a player. And so I stayed in that locker room and, really got my confidence up and started playing well. And it really paid off that I was really into the game just with my teammates and my coaching staff. There was no outside pressure from anybody, no expectations. All I did was really hooping. All I did was really hoop. And I kind of lost myself in the game. And, it really paid off. And when I got that award and, you see the jerseys in the rafters and, coming back and kind of looking up there, sometimes I still look up there. It's crazy to be up there in that blue jersey up front and being up there with the greats. And it's something special. I'll never really get over that feeling. And it means a ton. I mean, it means the world to me.
I mean, I know how it feels for you. I can know, how it feels for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't blessed to be in that position, but I'm okay because I was able to watch an individual grow to that. I played with one of those individuals. And so, seeing him up there is awesome. That was my teammate. But at that point in time, when you came to school, I was a professional. And so to watch a kid grow and to become that, man, it's like, man, it's awesome. I mean, it's not great. It's awesome because, like I said before, I knew what you did to get it. You know what I mean? Those like you said, those lonely nights in the gym. Going back through that back door and hitting that button. And the greatest thing about it for me is, I'm a worker. You know what I mean? I'm a worker. I'm not as talented as others. So it's always great to see somebody that not only has the talent, but to also have that work ethic. I think that's where you are so great for today's kids. Being able to help them understand, hey, man, I was top of McDonald's All-American. I was ACC Freshman of the Year. But, man, I worked. You know what I mean? Everything that you get, Tyler, nobody can question because you earned it. And not saying that don't question anybody else, but you maximized that God-given talent to be one of the greats at the University of North Carolina, man. And it's awesome.
Yeah. It's one thing is like, in a way, it is kind of like a team award, though, is because, you had a teammate up there because the team has to have a certain level of success to kind of to get that recognition. But, also one thing I will say is, that front row, excluding Michael Jordan, I don't think they're probably the most talented players that have come through North Carolina or have the most potential. But, if you put that work in and you earn everything you get, it really shows that it pays off. And I think there is kind of like this cultural shift nowadays is where kids, sometimes they get discouraged. And when me and you back in the day, when we were playing, if we weren't playing the way we wanted, if we weren't getting the minutes, we'd go in, we'd try to bust somebody's ass in practice. We would put that work in, whatever we needed to do. Now sometimes people put their head down, start blaming things. No, I wish kids could see the way that me and you work. Sometimes you got to earn everything you get.